It's alien visualization. Come back to another video. No, I haven't changed the intro. No one changed it too. Today's video, I'm gonna talk about things that I bought that I probably didn't need, which probably leads us to talk about a deeper conversation, or not so much deeper conversation of why do we buy the things we buy. So on the table here right now, I have my Nikon Z6 II, I have my Nikon Z8, and I have 3 different screens. And so those who don't know about the Nikon Z6 II is that it has a record limit on there. And I didn't, when this camera came out, some things I didn't like about it, but yeah, that was one of them too. Had a record limit on there. And I know people are like, well, who's rolling for 30 minutes straight? It's not about to me, it's not about the fact who's rolling for 30 minutes straight. It's the time that if it does happen, you know you can do it. So in order to combat that, I bought the Ninja V. The Ninja Animals V right here. And I paid a pretty penny for this. And of course, I can record longer and deeper and all that other stuff. So the thing was, at the time I wasn't trying to shoot log all that much. I just needed it to record longer. So, but then I would try to shoot log, and then yeah, it's a whole different other story. But the thing is, I realized I only really needed this to shoot longer. So the question I had to ask myself is, I probably should have bought a different camera other than Nikon. But I think because I had so many lenses, I didn't want to sell my lenses and go to a different system. So yeah, so that's why I bought the Ninja Animals V. And for the most part, I never use this anymore. I really don't. I just don't. Especially with Z8 because it can record infinitely. I guess yeah. So another one I got was the Lilliput 7-inch screen. I bought this at B&H, and it wasn't that much, but I got this because the screen was much bigger, right? The 7-inch screen, much bigger. But sometimes when you go cheap, you get what you pay for. So on the back of here is a plate, right? And this is what your battery goes on. This thing comes off very easily, and it sucks. And sometimes it won't fit other NPF batteries like this one. All right, so this is a Viltrox one. It came with, I'll talk about that one in a second. This one does not fit on here. It's low profile, it doesn't fit on here. So I have to use the big NPF battery, which is fine. You know, that's what I bought them for. But you can see how it protrudes, and now it causes the camera to be unbalanced, the monitor to be unbalanced, and then I have to fight with trying to balance it with other things. The other thing about this camera is, as you know, oops, see, there we go again, is that once you plug this battery in, it automatically turns the screen on. Yeah, it shouldn't do that. So, but for the most part, for monitoring, just to monitor myself, I do like the bigger screen. So I do still use this. So that comes to the other monitor I got. You know, the 6-inch. I think the 6-inch is the sweet spot. I do like this. I like the fact that it's small and I can charge it all kinds of different ways, or I can give power to it all kinds of different ways. But the question I come back again is, when we listen to YouTubers, or anybody, doesn't have to be YouTubers, of thinking about gear we might need. So I think instead of always buying gears you think you're going to need, if you can, I think you should start renting gear instead. If you're not sure if you're going to need it or not, you should probably rent the gear. Other things that I've bought not one, but 2 gimbals, thinking that I use gimbals all the time. I bought a gimbal 2 years ago, and I can't remember the last time I used it. I don't remember the last time I used it. So that's another thing I probably should have rented and see if what's the use case I actually have for it. I guess the thing is, like, I watched so much YouTube content, I thought it was very cool that, you know, the slow, steady shots and all the walking, and, you know, it was just really cool. And I was just like, oh, that's cool. And for my use case, I don't use it. So yeah. So sometimes I think we should probably just rent things instead of go out and buying them. And other times we should probably not be So brand loyal. And the thing about being brand loyal, I'll go back to when I should have not got to the Nikon Z6. When I first started shooting cameras, because I'm old, I had this Pentax over here. It's a film camera. That's what I first shot on. And then the next camera I bought after that, I think, was a Nikon D40. And the camera I bought after that, I didn't shoot for a long time, was a Canon 1200D. And then after the Canon 1200D, I got the Lumix G85. Not one, but two. I got two Lumix G85s. Then after the G85s, I went back to Nikon. I bought the Nikon D750. Love that camera for portraits for photos and everything. I just love that camera. The camera's great. Felt nice in the hand. And then all my friends who had Sony's and Canon mirrorless cameras, I was very envious, but I had too many lenses. So when Nikon came out, the Nikon Z6, the original one, I was like, yeah, finally. And I got it, and the autofocus wasn't all that great. And then the Nikon Z6 II came out, and it was better, but still not all that great. And then that's where I should have just bailed, but I didn't. Got the Z8 instead. But anyways, I'm going off topic. Well, go back to again is that sometimes, like I said, we shouldn't buy things that we think we're going to use that we're not going to use. We shouldn't do that. So, like right now, I'm stuck with this. I don't even know what I'm going to do with it. Because like I said before, at the end of the year, I'm going to probably buy another Nikon Z8. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this Ninja V. I don't know. So not sure what I'm going to do with that. I still use this, for the most part. I'm not using it right now because I'm filming. I want to show you guys this, so that's why I'm filming. So usually I will have this on the Z6 II or on the Nikon Z50 II. Even though I have this flippy screen, just to see it bigger. Because usually what I do is I would set up my shot and make sure I can see myself properly, and then I would turn the monitor off. Because I noticed I was doing with the monitors that I'll keep looking up at the monitor to check focus, to check if I'm talking or whatever. So I usually just turn it off when I'm doing that talking head, so I can look down the barrel of the camera, of the lens. Anyways, so I think that's all I want to talk about, because I need to do a video every day, and I didn't know what I was going to do today, and I didn't get home till like 9 o'clock. So yes, I'm just rambling now. So let's remember, only buy things that you think you're going to need, and before you buy things you think you're going to need, you should rent them. Till then, see you tomorrow.